we were talking about things that younger people today wouldn't understand, like turning your bright lights on your car on the floorboard while you're driving. Having two keys for your car, one to start your car and one to get into your car. Cigarette vending machines, things like that, right? And this person came up with a great one. Credit card carbon receipt. Now, if you guys are unfamiliar, you younger generation are unfamiliar, credit cards were not always used. You used cash, and bank cards were not even a thing back in the day. You either had cash, you wrote a check, or you had a credit card. And there wasn't a machine that you could tap, insert, or swipe on. There was a bulky, portable device that you took an imprint of the credit card. So it was this. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. It's this big bulky device, and there's a place that you put the credit card down in it, and the name and the date and the numbers were all raised up. They were higher than the credit card, right? And then you put a piece of paper down that had, it was a multiple pieces of paper that were layered together, including like a white copy, a yellow copy, a pink copy, a carbon copy, and then you ran this thing back and forth over that set of paper and the credit card, and it created the indentation, and the ink and the carbon paper created a thing where the numbers appeared on the receipt, and then you filled in the rest with paper, with a pen, how much the purchase was for and shit like that. Let me show you a few videos.
How did credit cards work in the 80s? I'm glad you asked. Back in the day, stores used these bad boys right here. They're called knuckle busters. Credit cards weren't flat. They used to have raised embossed letters and numbers. And I'm going to show you the reason for that. So, you would place the credit card right here, then place carbon paper over the top of it. This isn't carbon, but you get the picture. And then you'd swipe the machine. It would leave an imprint on the carbon paper with all the credit card information on it. The clerk would fill in the price of the transaction. After that, you signed it, and then you kept a copy of the carbon paper, and the store kept a copy. It was also important that you signed the back of your credit card. The clerk would have to check if the signatures matched. They wanted to make sure it wasn't stolen. And if the transaction was really big, they would have to call the credit card company to verify that you had enough money on your credit card. And if it was approved, they were given an authorization number, and they would write it on the slip. And then all of those receipts needed to be processed by the credit card company. It's not easy as swiping or inserting the card in the machine like it is today. Now, I didn't say tapping because I still have issues tapping that stupid card in the machine.
This is the way credit cards used to work. Visa, Diners Club, American Express, MasterCard. They all work the same way, but they're all going to change. This is the sweep of the future. And this is International Verifact, the company that makes that little machine in a plant north of Toronto. This gizmo is the built-in telephone so the credit card reader can dial up the computer and see if you're good for it. This is a smart card, and it's the future. That gold seal actually covers a tiny computer that remembers everything, how much money you've spent, how much you have left. John Elliott of MasterCard in New York explains just how powerful the smart card is.
This is an example of what it would look like if you could peel away the back of our existing card, the card with the chip in it. What you'd see is a chip with data storage and another separate chip over here with the processor itself.
That's how it worked. You had to put that card in there and that paper on there, and you had to drag that fucker back there, and it wasn't always easy to do, and sometimes the paper got fucking gnarled up and shit like that, and it was just a big old pain in the ass. Now we don't even think about it. You just tap, you swipe. Tapping, like she said, I still, not every place has the tap, and not every card can be tapped. It's just, I wish we would just get on one fucking page like we were back in the old days when you had to fucking cha-chunk do that thing, but, yeah. That's how we did it in the olden days.